Hi everyone, my name is Irina. Welcome to my very first podcast episode ever. I felt like actually giving it a go. Someone gave me idea of making podcasts because I can communicate a lot of what I think about in my voice, even more so in than in the video or in the photo. In the written form, I feel like voice is actually my main tool of communication through which I can bring my ideas forth. And so I'm really grateful for that suggestion, and I'm taking this opportunity to actually try this out and see how you guys like this. If you want to hear me create more podcasts talking about things I am myself going through, finding clarity on. I am myself a person who really appreciates mental clarity, who really appreciates to talk about things and actually having a dialogue with someone, not just pushing your ideas forward, but actually hearing the other people talk and their points of views. I believe that we can enhance each other by sharing our ideas. I think this is how we can truly make a big change in each other's life. And so I want to make this step forward and be here in this role as well. Yeah, so today podcast I will be just introducing some of my ideas, talking about what kind of topics maybe I would be covering, and going into depth onto topic of current trends, let's say, in self-help industry, in spirituality, in self-development, because I myself have been in this field for more than 15 years now. So I've seen a lot of things happen, and obviously I have had my own experience trying all these techniques and new age ideas, and just contemplating religion, spirituality, what's out there, um, how we can actually change our lives for the better, and the strive for that, if it's actually even a healthy strive to improve someone's life in a way of continuous work on oneself. And so there's definitely lots of depth in this topic, and this is probably going to be my main topic that I would be covering, since it is actually my main focus for my own exploration of my interest in this field. And yeah, so get a cup of tea or coffee and join me. Yeah, let's have this conversation. So, like I said, I have been contemplating this topic um, of self development for 15 years now. I am trained in few systems, um, such as Reiki, Universal Health Principles, angel therapy, and yeah, I guess those are the main ones. So I do have a certification in those things, and I have moved on from some of them, and I'm also still embracing um, some of the trainings I have took, and I do still feel value in them. So maybe I will actually have another episode covering all the trainings I took and what I think about all those things. Now let me know in the comments if that's what you want for me to cover. But yeah, I do have a certification, so I have been supporting others with those tools, and I myself have this inner calling, let's say, to explore the invisible world And so I am gravitating constantly in a way towards something spiritual, something that that's not seen, something that is felt, something that's internal. I am very internally focused person. I am, you could say, introvert person. I love talking to others about topics I love. Um, Openly, so I in that way I can seem to be extroverted, but overall I do consider myself more of introvert person. I think a lot, I feel a lot, and I enjoy being on my own. And so those topics of spiritual connection, of discovering who we really are, meditating, and following those teachings about us being beyond this physical world, and kind of like discovering the self that's infinite self, coming back to experience source of God, however you want to call that. I myself have also been on this path for a very long time. Well, I guess actually, even from childhood, I've been always considering the idea of God and morals and being a good person. And obviously, I do have a lot to say on this topic as well, on topic of religion and how that also impacted me very early on in my childhood. Today, I will not be focusing on that, but just to give you sort of a bit of overview of my interests and my personal journey. And currently, also, I am deconditioning from spiritual trauma, because apparently, without my knowledge, I have been engaged in something that later on was known to be as a cult. And the leader of that cult is not um, a person who really cares about others, but they were really taking advantage of the people who were trusting them. And so that, of course, is a huge negative experience of my life that I'm still recovering from, because I got very deeply into that cult and got personally traumatized by inner circle of that person. And so it's taken me years to really heal from that. And I find that currently there is still not enough people talking about this openly, or even realizing the dangers of following some teachers on internet oftentimes, that they seem to be really awakened, enlightened, or generous people who are wanting to help. They seem to share their knowledge and tools to help people to advance on their personal journeys, to be able to support others as well. So it really capitalizes on this desire in empathetic people to help this world, to help other people. And so that's how a lot of people get attracted to these things, such as spiritual cults. And I find that unknowingly they get engaged into it in a way that they become brainwashed with the ideas of that cult, of that person, of their take on spirituality, on what's right, on how this world is. So if you engage with some spiritual teaching unknowingly, slowly you actually start to think more and more like this teacher, because you trust this teacher, and your brain starts to kind of like create the pathways of thinking that's really similar to this teaching. And so this is how it's really easy to actually get brainwashed. We don't realize it. And I myself would have never thought that I get engaged with something that's actually detrimental to my own health and to health of people who engage um, with such kind of teaching with a good intention. And anyone can um, be engaged in such things. So do not think that this is not um, applicable to everyone and only to some people who have a predisposition to this, or there is a lot of this kind of like a shaming that's going on, that if something bad happened to you, it means you attracted that, it means you wanted that, it means that your soul wanted this experience for your greater development. And I just want to say that in my exploration on this, and I've been really contemplating this for a very long time, for many years, of did I create this, why did this happen? And this only creates like, if you think in this way, if you've been through something traumatic and you keep thinking back to what you did wrong, how did you attract it, how it's serving you, how those people are innocent and you are the one who who needed this experience, it makes you stuck in your trauma and you cannot move forward, because the trauma happened on this idea of you believe in these people, and thinking that you yourself have some wrong ideas that need fixing, or you need some kind of help from others, or like it's your fault, or like you are creating your life, you're creating all experiences of your life, and everything that other people do to you kind of means something about you. So it only recreates the traumatic experience if you keep being stuck in this. And finding those who actually can reflect to you that in this world many things exist, there are many types of people in this world, not everything that happens to you is your fault, not everything that happens to you you wanted or it serves some greater purpose. It's not to legalize abuse and make it okay. I feel like this whole thing of like it's all you're creating this, don't be a victim, kind of pointing fingers towards people who experienced abuse. It's really capitalizing on people who abuse others, just getting away with with what they are doing. And it's so weird to me how that is the world we are living in, and how so many good-hearted people actually support and protect the people who actually hurt them and who hurt others. It's really strange to me, but it is what I'm discovering in what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing, contemplating from different sides, from different points of view, talking to different people. I continue to engage in discussions with different people to find the truth, because for me, I do have huge value in clarity, in truth, and in personal happiness and protection of personal boundaries of the person, um, not invading their boundaries and telling them how they should live. And I believe that everyone deserves to have a safe space to decide for themselves about their own life, and having safe space to feel, to think, to have their experiences, to find their own clarity on things, and make their own choices about life. In these communities, you don't realize how sometimes you get brainwashed without knowing it. And cults really, they do create this distinction of this is us and this is them. And so if you are inside of that cult, they really propagate this idea of we are right, everyone outside is wrong. And they tell you from beginning, if someone tells you that you're in a cult, then they are just don't understand. They don't understand you. They don't understand us. They are not yet developed. They are different kind of people. We are above them, kind of. And it doesn't have to be in these words exactly. Obviously, I'm talking clearly how I see it, but they hide it under very nice words where you want to embrace that idea because it sounds good. It sounds true because it builds upon other elements where you felt some resonance and truth with what these teachers are telling you. So, of course, they tell you some truth to then tell you some lies. Otherwise, if they just straight ahead tell you lies, you would probably recognize that and what they are really are about. But they slowly weave in these elements of lies into something that is true. So it's really hard to notice. But yeah, when you are in such organization for a long time, even if it's online, even if it's over the distance, you don't actually attend them in person, it still works somehow because yeah, it's really a lot of these ideas are mental, so you don't have to be physically there, and emotional, of course. It's all connected in our body mind. Body, emotions, our minds, our experiences, it's all connected. But yeah, if you have been in such organization for a long time, you really start to protect it in a way. And so that's how unknowingly you may start to have this idea of that this victim shaming kind of mentality of yeah, if people speak against this leader, it means that these people are incorrect and that they didn't understand the teaching. Even if these people very directly tell you what exactly had happened to them, what exactly this teacher had done to them physically and mentally, spiritually, like in different ways, um, or financially, because there is a lot of financial abuse that's also happening in such circles, and a lot of people do this for their own gain, and it's really hard to see that sometimes. But yeah, abuse can happen in many different ways. And so when people come out to tell you, this is what happened to me, and they are still shocked by that experience that happened, of course, they will not come across as completely, clear headed or completely confident because they are shaken by that experience. And oftentimes it's taken years for them to start to talk about what happened to them, just because how damaging that experience has been like. And and it's also being used against them, that they are still shaken about it. That means that they are not confident. It means that they are not clear headed. It means maybe they have some mental health issues. So it's been, again, like it's put upon them that maybe it's them who didn't um, understand what happened, and also because it's taken time to come forward. Oftentimes that it's also being said like, oh, but why didn't you say it right away? Why are you coming now after so many years have passed? But that's why, just because that's why it's been so traumatic for them. They barely survived that experience. You don't know how much it takes to actually come through that experience to the other side where you can feel alive again. Um, so I just want to say to encourage or support, or I don't know, just give a warm hug to these people. Because it is very traumatic experience, and it's very hard for others to understand just how traumatic it is. It seems that these people are exaggerating what happened to them, but if you've never been through this, you really will not understand the depth of this pain and despair that happens. I don't have words to explain such things, because it really is, it's like also the trust has lost towards the people you trusted most, and you don't know where the ground is anymore, because also the community that you were in, it's turning against you, and so it feels really strange and isolating. um, and yeah, you really don't know where to go. And like I said, because so many people do not understand this, if you even go to therapists like I did, they also, like, maybe I probably just didn't have a good luck with that. I tried a lot of professionals, like a lot of them. Like, I have been trying so many people in different um, specialities, but none of them told me that maybe what I went through is actually spiritual trauma and cult abuse. And I didn't know a word cult back then. I didn't know what those things like psychopath and narcissists are. So for me, when I actually started, like, yeah, for me, I came across the story of other people who had experienced something similar, sharing about this, and I was like, wow. Uh, like, it took me some time to actually like realize that that is what happened to me too. And continuing to watch the documentaries, that's how my mind, first of all, my first point of healing was actually mental, and it was mentally getting the information about like such things existing, because that was never in my mind before that this existed. So I kept searching for solution in the wrong place. I kept thinking, how did I create this? What is it telling me? How do I heal from this? But kind of like not realizing what I'm even working with. And when I started to have the clarity of, this is my battlefield, this is what I'm dealing with, there are evil people in this world, uh, or at least what they do is very evil, truly evil, to a point that I still have a very hard time to accept the fact that evil does exist. Because I myself never knew. In a way, I always just assumed that everyone is a good person. I assumed that everyone wants to do good, but some people just have hard time doing it because of their upbringing or personal trauma. So I always wanted to help actually those people who were in pain. I felt like they just needed more love or understanding. But if those people you give love and understanding to are hurting you to a point that you are barely surviving after that experience, it's not something to continue tolerating. It is something to really realize that it's hurting you and it's not okay, and to put those boundaries. And I guess that's probably, if we really look at the, what it's teaching me, spiritual perspective of things, well, it's teaching me to really trust myself and have boundaries, and understand the value of my own mind, of my own thoughts, of my own feelings, of my life, and to not let other people tell me what they think about it without me actually asking for it, or without it being something where it's a dialogue, because like I said, a lot of people just want to push their agenda forth, and you just have to sort of accept it to continue being in contact with them. And for me, that's no longer okay. The other point of like my latest point of change, I guess, was that I'm embracing much more value of psychology, of recognizing each person as individual entity, as they have their own right to live and think how they want without being told what is right, what is wrong. In our society currently, I feel like it's actually very helpful to have this perspective of everyone's okay. You okay the way you are, what you think, what you feel. Like, it's cool, you can choose for yourself, but also I can choose. If you want to talk to me, we need to respect each other's opinions. And that's how I think it's much more healthy way of engaging with people, to not let them walk all over you, walk all over your beliefs, your life, your values, telling you kind of their opinions on on your life, on how you live it. It's like it's not it's no longer okay for me. And I just realize how much of that is still apparent in spiritual circles, especially in religious circles. Well, religion and spirituality are very close by each other, let's say, because they all are about searching for God, searching for some higher entity. Even if it's in spirituality, oftentimes it's said that you yourself are the one, you are that source that created everything. And so in meditation, you are going towards that experience of being that one, that source of everything. But it is, again, it's still God in a way. It's that one initial source of life that created things. And so it's just a matter of how we look at it. But it's still that desire to connect with something greater, with something that's good, something that's there to support you, to love you, which isn't bad in itself. I just want to make it also clear that I don't condemn religion or spirituality. I think it can work for some people, and I do myself still consider these things. I still consider a lot of things, and I want to find my truth in all of that. And I think that it is a helpful idea that we live in a good world with God or some higher entity being good, like a good parent. And oftentimes that's really what it is. It's because of our upbringing, having parents when we are little, having someone to look after us, some guardians. Our psyche really wants to find that guardian that will be there for us even when we are adults. So I find that a lot of the spiritual seeking in some way is looking for that adult who who is loving us, and who is there for us and can guide us, which is not bad in itself. Like I said, there it can be really good. It can be helpful to be like, oh, someone loves me. The feeling of there is someone who looks after you, who you can really trust, who has your best interest at heart, is a very sweet idea. But it can be used in a very negative way by people who have negative agenda, or even if they had a positive agenda early on. Sometimes it happens that when they get more engagement, more power, so many people trust in them, sometimes it can really make them lose their heads in a way. And they may go into this mode of just being enjoying this power so much that they lose track and touch with reality. And it just goes in completely different direction that it was meant to go to. So yeah, some people kind of, you could say, corrupted by power. I have not experienced that personally, so I cannot really speak on that in detail. I'm sure there is a lot of nuance about that, but it's just some of the possibility of what can happen. And yeah, and also I feel like maybe these people also feel the pressure of continuing to keep up their facade in a way of what they created, the image of themselves being just a teacher, so not really a human being that can make mistakes and that can tell that, oh, you know what, in this regard I don't know. And some teachers really feel maybe this pressure to continue giving answers, and maybe that's also what their students expect from them as well. But it's not a blame of students, obviously. It's just it's not to blame anyone, but it's just to look in this dynamics and just to see what's really happening, because any of us can really end up in any of these positions at some point. It's not to really condemn all of this dynamics of what's happening, but just to see it clearly and to find the path that's actually healthy. um, at least for me, that's very important. That's the value that I have of being a healthy person, leading a healthy life, without creating any imbalance that will hurt you later on, because any big imbalance or going into extreme of something can yeah, create a backlash later on. um, yeah, and so I think it's really important to understand that, like, for example, if you have some high experience, after that you can feel really low and feel like you just want to recreate that high experience. You get addicted to that high experience or cycle of looking for that something that gives you that dopamine hit. But yeah, let's not look into this direction right now. So yeah, so I did talk a lot about this, and the last point I just want to talk about today before ending this very first podcast, I just want to talk a bit about gaslighting and how that is something that well, I experienced in personal relation with one of those people in this cult group that later on I learned the term gaslighting. Before that, I didn't know that. I was just trusting what other people tell me as truth, as what they really mean, as what they really think. But later on, I learned all these techniques. Well, I didn't learn them. I just learned about them, the techniques that I used to get what other people want from you, so such as gaslighting. So it's putting the blame on you and making you question your own sanity by mixing up facts with fiction and changing what happened, and telling you like, no, that's not what happened is that, and telling you kind of what you are thinking or what you're feeling, what you need. It's very weird. Yeah, it's really high artillery attack in a way of, yeah, when someone is gaslighting you, someone who you trust, someone who you see good in, and you just don't notice what they are doing until it's too late, oftentimes. But I mean, we can heal from that. I don't want to give such people power to think that they defeated us. I do believe we can find strength to heal from it and grow from it, but not in a way of like, oh, thank you for giving us this experience so we can grow. I don't think like that's not how I approach this. It's not to give them power and give them medal for doing something for us like this. It's more about our own character of getting out of something so bad that was meant to hurt us pretty badly, and it's us who are taking those steps to heal from it. It's not them who are really helping us to grow and get through it. We might find people on our path who will help us positively, and I do believe in positive help. I don't believe in negative help. Like, if someone does something negative towards you, that's not help. It's not help at all, you know. Help is only where they actually like helping you, giving you some information or actual practical things that are directly positively supporting your personal progress towards healing, towards good things. So it's really good to recognize and not fall back into pattern of looking for new teachers who also treat you badly, and promise to heal you by doing that, you know. That's just prolonging this trauma. And yeah, so it's just a note right there for some of you, because that's something, again, like I went through, I contemplated on, and I know that a lot of people have something that I think someone called this like cult jumping, jumping from cult to cult, from one narcissist to another narcissist, because it's just the pattern that you already knew from the first experience. You just continue recreating this pattern with the other person, still looking for something positive from that experience. So it's good to realize that that is not how you will get better. That's not how you will find the light in all this darkness. Not by falling for someone else's ideas of telling you how you should live, and where you are not right, where you are thinking wrong, when you are where you are feeling wrong. It's usually the healing happens from someone telling you like your own thoughts, feelings matter, and you yourself can know better for yourself. And I'm here for you, a supportive person, to actually find your truth and give you a safe space to have your experience and to share what you actually think and feel without gaslighting you, to tell you that that is incorrect, so that you push it down again, you push down again your feelings, your emotions, and um, continue to be stuck in the cycle where you cannot express your own truth. And so, yeah, what's really helpful is such people who can be that for you, who can um, give you something that's actually helping. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into that because that's a whole other thing. But yeah, I was just talking about gaslighting, and and I find that in so many circles, the spiritual circles, this gaslighting, it became almost like on social level now. I kind of start to see through that when I see at even when I scroll through my social media. I just notice how people keep telling all the same things. You just you find a new person on social media and they keep telling the same thing someone else have told them, and it's like, where is the original thought in all of this? It's all the same idea of like, you create your reality, money is energy, and and I'm still contemplating myself, like, is this real, is this true? Like, I really want to know, like, I really want this to be true, because it would be so easy to really just change your state, and money will flow to you, change your state, you will get a new relationship. It sounds so easy and simple, and you want to have it be true. And I think that's why such teachings work, because they are really positive in their message. I find that this is what kind of resonates to me, is because it's very positive. It's like, oh yeah, like that's very positive idea, I kind of want to believe that. It's in the same way that I wanted to think that the whole world is good. It's just good world with good people, good intentions everywhere, and everyone is what they are telling should be really believed, because they are good person. They want to tell me something useful and I should listen. But I think it's kind of very similar to that. It's like it's a positive idea, it's a positive thought process, you know, how this can be so easy, but in practice, I find that it can actually create a very negative effect, because if you have been trying to do such things for a very long time, all this new age practices, visualizations, working on yourself, for such long time, and you do not see like true results from that, unless you became also like coach of coaches, coaching others the same idea, so they knew people come and pay you for this stuff. So pretty much I think that there is an element of pyramid scheme in a lot of the self-help industry teachings. I do not condemn self-help at large. I do think there is some value in it, but in the current world, the way it evolved into, I just see how much it's just leading people astray in a way, and how many incorrect beliefs are formed within this whole industry of self-help, of this positive thinking, magical thinking. um, and so I do think that it's very good to work on yourself. There is value in that. There is value in positively thinking, in thinking that, you know what, I can do it. Maybe giving yourself some affirmation that's helpful, but to not say that this is what will actually like save you or help you, and especially to not give power away to someone else, like your teacher of any kind, or like some celebrity on social media that just have huge following, but you know, you don't know how that person is in real life with people who are close to them. And I got very disillusioned with such people. So when I see someone with huge following, I actually take caution. Not, I don't trust them more, I trust them less, which I think is very healthy, because why would you trust someone just because they are famous or have popularity? I find that a lot of people who really have good ideas, they are oftentimes actually not even popular at all, and you just talk to them sometimes and be like, wow, thank you for this really good conversation, it was really really helpful for me. And so I find that, again, the pressure of being like a superstar or famous or having this image that sells to most people, I find that it creates this more shallow way of interacting with others. And that creates this thing where you can no longer be completely honest unless you choose to, because again, it's weird, but a lot of people do buy into something that sells, into something that's super simple, that promises something, and takes away the responsibility from people to really work on hard things in their lives. Yeah, I mean, we can make a whole podcast maybe on this topic as well. You know, how popularity and fame in current reality really produces this disconnection um, from authenticity, even from actual true connection, from honesty. And so this is the topic that I've been contemplating last few days: honesty, authenticity, and how it relates to this like culture of self-help, and the gaslighting that I can see happening in such circles. And yeah, how people unknowingly just keep pushing the same ideas forward that someone else taught them. And so how it becomes this whole one entity where you want to talk to someone openly about what you're actually thinking and going through, and you want to have some original thoughts happening in this interaction, but you keep hearing someone just reiterating the same ideas they just heard from someone else. And you're like, okay, well, it's just really hard, because it's like, it's almost like grasping for air. Sometimes that's how it feels like for me. It's like, where is this fresh true air that I can grasp, that I can engage with, that I can talk with. Like, I'm really wanting to have an honest conversations without devaluing everything completely, but actually telling about real experiences we have had with things, and um, actually seeing how something can be unhealthy, because I find that it's easier to just consider everything okay and just dismiss it, and dismiss any um, concerns about something not being healthy, because then you don't have to do anything. But I do want to do something, but it's more so that I just want to have a real progress in my life, not something that just copying someone else, how they live, what they teach. But yeah, I have big interest in developing personal path, authentic path in life, and I've been finding some people who also speak about that lately, and that's for me, it's like, oh yeah, I'm not the only one who also looking for what's truly resonating for them, who also want to have this peaceful life experience where they are happy with the life they have built for themselves, for this daily routine they have chosen for themselves, without the need to dedicate your life, your days, to some spiritual teacher, but to be your own guide more than anything else. And of course, others can help us. I do think so. And I think we can engage with others in a way that's given us new food for thought, that enriches our lives, and then we can make better choices. Someone's perspective can truly change the way we see things for the better. I do really believe in that. That is something I love a lot. That's something I strive to give to my clients in our private work. And yeah, and so I'm coming to the end of this podcast, and I'm ending on the similar note with which I started, about how talking about things openly can truly enhance each other's lives. And that is my desire. That is my impulse of creating this podcast as well, to have honest conversations on such complex topics that now became so popular. Uh, but at the same time, what is really the truth in all of that? And of course, if it works for you to be engaged with those teachings, you can. You have free will for that. But I just, for me, in my life, I just want to have more honesty and more truth and more realness of what's actually truly making this life worth living, and how I want to live this life, and how I want to engage with people, what kind of conversations I want to have. Yeah, I don't want to be brainwashed into some new cult, following some new way of someone else, but I want to be me. I want to live life that's true to who I am, and I want to find those who want to engage with real me, with what I really think, how I feel, and I want to find people who care for me and for who I am, not for what I can do for them. If it's about private engagements and relationships, I want to have honest relationship with people, and also seeing them for who they are, supporting them in their private lives, journeys, with their thought process. uh, Yes, so this was Irina. I'm really glad that you listened through this whole podcast. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you taking time to listen to this. And if you are listening to this, it means that you're also interested in similar things. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to know that rather than hear that. But you can let me know in the comments as well what you think. Do you like this format of podcast, of me talking about such topics that I find important in self-development industry, especially? If you want to give me some feedback, I love to hear it. What you liked, what you didn't like about this, what you want for me to talk about more. If you have your own thoughts to share, you're welcome to. You can also email me as well if it's something private that you want to talk about on similar topics. Um, okay, and yeah, for now, I will wish you have a good day, a good night, and yes, we'll speak to you again some other time. See you then. Have a good night.